So far we've got Tenge ticked off, got Bream ticked off. Now I'm going to attack the carp. My personal best carp is £22 3 ounce. I caught that around 5 years ago. Now, the destination I've picked is the fishery where I was fishing for the Tenge, although I'm on one of the bigger carp waters. The reason I've come here, I came here about 5 years ago, not fished for years, came with very minimal gear. I went onto a lake called Foxes, which is on the other side of the complex. It was a hot day, I turned up in red shorts and blue t-shirt. Everyone all camoed up, stuck out like a sore thumb. I walked around the lake, no one had caught anything for 24 hours. Anyway, I got set up, finally got the rods in, 1 o'clock. By 3 o'clock, I'd landed 3 fish, up to £16. And then that evening is when I got my personal best, which was £22 3. And I've not returned since. So I thought, what better place to start to try and beat it and to come back to the same complex. As I said, I'm on the lake that's called Sunny One. The reason I've come on here, it's a bit of a better stamp of fish. I think it's quite pressured, so I can imagine it being quite hard work. I came up, I had a look around Sunny 2 first, and I've come around Sunny 1, and everyone's fishing into open water. And I came into the corner, and all the fish were there, all basking. So my hopes are that they're going to stay up this sort of end. I've left the lines out of the water all day. It's nearly 5 o'clock now. I've just been putting little bits of bait in here and there, and I've just put the rods out now. I've left the lines out because I didn't want to spook any of the fish moving around. We've got 3 days, 2 nights, 3 days. So yeah, fingers crossed we can tick the carp off the list. Just give you a little run through where I'm fishing. I've got two rods tied up against that bank there. Where that bush is there, I've got one right under that bush, and I've got one right under that bush there. That's really tight. 2 solid bags, and then I've got a rig placed under this tree here, just a bit of a sleeper. Yeah, as I said, I've introduced a little bit of bait throughout the day, not much, and I've just put 2 solid bags out towards that back, and I just put a little stick mix into this one there. On those at the back there, I've got krill, sticky krill, boilies, sticky krill, bottom bait on the hook, some sticky krill powder and sticky krill pellets in the bags, and this one here I've gone on with pink Nash citrus boilies, again pink bottom bait just to match the hatch, and a bit of the citrus stick mix in there, the fizzing stick mix. So let's see if it does the business. Good morning. No fish to report as of yet. Don't think I got the rods out till about 5 o'clock for the reasons that I said in the earlier bit. Just to put something into context, we are on the day after Father's Day, and when this video goes out, it's obviously going to be a little bit further on in the year. Now, we haven't had any rain for about 4 weeks. 6 o'clock yesterday, the heavens opened, thunderstorms, and it didn't start raining until 4 o'clock this morning. We've had 10 hours of constant heavy rain. It's going to do one or two things, or both maybe. First and foremost, all that cold water going in may have just pushed them down. Possibly pull them out of this shallower part of the lake. But I do believe temperature's going to rise again today, which could spur a bit of a feed, you know. I'm hoping that's the case. It is now just after first light. It's 4:46. Just made myself a brew. I like that cup. That was given to me as a gift from one of my wife's business associates. She also gave me a matching t-shirt, which I'm not wearing today. I feel like it might bring me some bad luck. But what I will say is I'm having a look out in the water, and the sun has only just come up, and yeah, there's no signs of anything. As I said, maybe the fish have pushed out into the deeper part of the lake, so a move could possibly be on the cards if I don't see anything this morning. But if the sun comes up, which I do believe it's going to, they may push back into here, patrolling that border. There may be an opportunity a little bit later on to do some floater fishing. I've got all my floater gear with me. Peg 1 is free next to me on peg 2. And all the fish were on the surface yesterday, as I said, so there could be a chance there later. I did have one run. It was 10 minutes after the rain had started. It was on the rod that I put in front of this little tree in front of me. Now, it ripped off. I got to it, but there was nothing there, so I don't know whether it was a line bite, because I'm fishing that with a tight line just down to the bait. So it could have been something that picked the line up. I've had no line bites in the night, but I was expecting that because I'm fishing with back leads, just to try and keep the line out of the water because it's quite shallow. But as I said, no fish to report as of yet, but there is still quite a long way to go in this session, so fingers crossed I can get a carp. Right, well, first fish of the day. It's a new PB. Check this out. Oh, look at that, baby. Look at that. £23, 4 ounce. 9 o'clock in the morning. Come on, have a bit of that. Well, that's the carp ticked off the list. Can't believe it. And the reason I say that is when I set the challenge to myself, the carp was always going to be a challenge, a proper challenge, because I put a lot of hours in last year, and the biggest I managed was 18.9. So to actually beat my personal best with having the rods in the water for less than 24 hours, and it's the first fish, I mean, yes. Oh, can't believe it. So happy. So happy. Oh, yes. And I'm back. Where am I? I've made the trip down to the River Trent at the A1 pits. A couple of reasons I've come here. One, you can fish it overnight on a day ticket, and two, got some very big barbel in, got some very big chub in, got some very big perch in, and it's also got some zander in. 3 of those I've never caught before. I've never caught a barbel, I've never caught a chub, I've never caught a zander, and it'll be a good place to set a PB for my perch. Not necessarily going to catch everything, I may not catch anything, but you never know. It's not been the best of starts, to be fair. I left my house at 1 o'clock thinking I'd get here about 5 with the stop off. Got stuck on the A1 for about 3 hours. I got to the gates at 6:57 and they lock at 7. so the trip was almost for nothing. Got here, it's really windy. Went to put the bivvy up, gust of wind took it, snapped 2 of the poles. It's pretty much brand new, I've only used it once. Then I put a baiting needle through my thumb, and then I hooked the same thumb with a size 8 hook. And then just to top it all off, when I set the bivvy up, I decided to move behind some trees to get a bit of protection from the wind. So I had to move the car. Before I moved the car, I bought a pack of dead baits with me, and I put them on the wheel, just temporary. And I forgot about them, and I set off. So now I've got a bag full of fish mush. So it's not been the best of starts. I've only had the rods out 10 minutes, and it's cracking on nearly 10 o'clock now. It's been an absolute nightmare. So things can only get better. But I'm here till Sunday, it's Friday. And let's hope we can tick some more of these boxes off. The way it started, I'm not optimistic, but let's see how we get on. Well, got my first barbel. See what it weighs. £10 2 ounce. £10 2 ounce, double figure straight away. Oh, God. Oh. Let's check this out. Give me a right good scrap with that one. How's about that? That's a nice fish. Take it from the other side. There we go, look at that. So I can safely say I wasn't expecting that. 11 o'clock at night, so rods have been out for 2 hours. First ever barbel, it's a double figure. Give me a right good scrap. I wasn't expecting it at all. I've almost pretty much just pub chucked the rods out, to be fair, because it was pretty much dark when I got them out. But anyway, I've got the rig back out, fired some more bait out. Probably going to try and get a bit of sleep now. Hopefully I get woken up a few times. When the sun comes up tomorrow, I'll have a proper catch up, I think. Take you through where I'm actually fishing, what rigs I'm using, the tactics I'm using, what bait I'm using, and yeah, let's hope for some more of those. Made up. Well, it's the morning after the night before. I had one more fish during the night, about 3 o'clock. It wasn't very big, about £5-6 maybe. I didn't bother weighing it or even photographing it, just rested it in the net and let it go. The wind picked up so bad this morning, and the forecast for the rest of the day is massive thunderstorm coming in and serious winds. To show you this forecast here, have a look at this. And as you can see there, you know, 40 mile an hour plus winds in a bivvy that's got 3 of the 5 structural poles snapped. It's not a good idea. I've just spoke to one of my mates. He's fishing on the River Ribble up in the north. So what I've done, I've just chucked all the gear in the back, and I'm making my trip up to the Ribble. Probably about a 3-hour drive, I reckon. It is sort of on my way home with a little detour. I'm not going to fish all night, I'm just going to get there, fish into darkness. The reason I'm doing that is there's some absolutely cracking chub in the Ribble, and there's a strong chance of actually getting one. So if I could get a chub on my way home, it would be a massive bonus. And I may even put my little perch rod out as well, because there's some big perch in there. So stay tuned. As I said, it's going to be about 3 hours before I get there. But when I get there, I'll get set up, and then we'll go through tactics, and I'll show you where I am. Well, I've made it to the Ribble. I'll give you a quick look at the swim in a minute. I'll just show you what I'm doing. So I've got the main line. I've got that set up on a run ring with a feeder, anti-tangle sleeve, 2.5 foot hook link with a size 8 barbless hook and a sticky krill dumbbell wafter. The reason I'm using that bait, the tench loved it when I fished for tench, the carp loved it when I was fishing for the carp, the barbel loved it last night, so I can only assume that the chub will like it too. It's like a little bit different than the last river. I'll just give you a quick spin around. So you see up there, I'm just under my brolly now. I've got a steep embankment, and then I've got my rods just there, and the river out in front. There's hardly any bank to work with. But anyway, I've got all the rigs baited up, so I'm going to get the rods out and let's see if we can get a chub. I've also just put about 20 minutes ago, put a big handful of maggots just down there in the hope that it attracts some little silverfish. And then I've just dropped a big worm right in the margin, just to see if I can pick up any perch. Well, 9 o'clock now. To be honest, I'm a bit tired. I had a chub on earlier, come off at the net, wasn't very big. I've had a few roach and an eel on my little margin rod, but no perch. Just refreshed the rods. Going to give them probably another half an hour, and then I think I'll make my way home, because I need something to eat and I'm fairly tired, to be fair. It's been an eventful, well, I'd say probably 36 hours, I'd say. Very beneficial. I mean, lovely to get a double figure barbel, especially my first ever one. Can't complain with that. So all in all, this little snippet has been a success. It would have been lovely to get her a chub, just to tick it off the list, but unfortunately I don't think it's meant to be. 30 minutes in, left to go, I don't think it's going to happen. But you never know. If it does, we'll have a look at it. But if it doesn't, please stay tuned, because I'll be appearing on a bank somewhere very soon. Stay tuned.